Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I finally have another makeup tutorial for you guys. I'm going to be showing you how I created this makeup look that you see right here. I used the Anastasia Beverly Shadow Couture World Traveler eyeshadow palette, which I have to say is by far my favorite eyeshadow palette from her thus far. So I'm super excited to show you guys how I created this very easy, everyday, smoky eyeshadow look. So if you would like to see how I created this look, then just keep watching. So I've already primed my eyes with a concealer, and the first shade that our Fashionablyfayy is on is the shade Soft Peach. This is just a gorgeous matte peachy shade, very neutral. I'm just placing this all over my lid to mattify and set the concealer that I placed on as a base. Next, I'm going in with my crease color. I'm going to be using the shade Morocco, which is just a really gorgeous burnt orange shade. Obsessed with this color. And I'm just going to apply this back and forth in my crease in windshield wiper motions. And this color is going to be our transition shade. Having a transitional shade is very, very important because what this is going to do is make sure that the colors on our lid transition nicely and have a very nice gradient up to our brow bone. So I'm just buffing this back and forth, making sure that it's really nicely blended. And then I'm going in with my Milani Shadow Eyes pencil in the shade Sand Dunes. This is just a really gorgeous champagne color. This is going down as the base for the shadow that we'll be using next. And this is just going to help to make sure that that shadow shows up really nice and pigmented. So I sprayed my brush with some Smashbox primer water, and then our Fashionablyfayy has landed on the shade Pink Champagne next. So I started with a brush, and then as you'll see here, I went in with my finger because I just decided that it applied much better and much more pigmented that way. So I'm just packing that all over my lid, and then I'll go back in with my flat shader brush to really buff out the edges and take that color right up to the crease. Once I've got that color applied to my desired intensity, I'm going to go back in with my same shader brush and just a little bit more of that Morocco shade and blend out those edges so that we don't have any harsh lines. Next up is the shade Fudge, and this color is exactly as the name suggests. It's a really nice, rich, chocolatey brown shade. It's a very, very warm shade. I'm packing this shade on my outer V, and I'm focusing the majority of the pigment literally on the outer portion of my eye, as you see me doing here, and then with what is remaining on the brush, you'll see me start to drag that into my crease. I want the majority of the color to be focused on the outer portion of my eye in that outer V, just to really give our eye some dimension, but I am going to drag some of that color into the crease as well. And then I'm going to go back in with the shade Morocco and really use this color to buff and blend that Fudge shade out so that it's not too harsh and everything is nicely blended together. Following that, I'm going to apply my eyeliner. This is the Jessie's Girl Liquid Eyeliner Pen, which you guys know I am obsessed with. It's super, super easy to use. And then I'm going in with possibly the most pigmented black I have ever used in my entire life. This shade is the shade Noir, and I'm picking this up on a precision brush, and I'm going to start to smoke out that liner. For this particular look, I decided to kind of nix the winged liner and go for a more smoked lash line. I don't know, I just felt like trying something different, and I really like the way that it turned out. So that is what I am doing here, just really taking my time smoking out that lash line. And then I'm also going to bring that into that outer V as well, just to really deepen up that area as well. And then of course, once I've got that shade blended and applied nicely, I'm going to go back in and blend a little bit more, just to make sure again that all the colors are blended really nicely and that there aren't any harsh edges. And then once I've got that blended out, I'm just going to go back in with a little bit more of that Pink Champagne shade and apply a little bit more of that onto the lid just to bring out that color a little bit more and of course blend it out. So following that, I'm going to apply some mascara to my upper lashes. And then as you can see here, I did go ahead and apply my false lashes as well as my foundation and concealer off camera. You guys have seen me do that 1,000 times, so I just went ahead and took care of it off camera. For my lower lash line, I decided to go with a brown shade. I thought that that was a little bit softer than doing a black. And then here I'm just going back in with that fudge shade and applying this right on my lower lash line, right up against my lashes. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Morocco and really buff and blend this out. So next up, I'm going to highlight my inner corner, and I decided to jump into my Loreal Pro 2 palette, and I'm just taking this really gorgeous rosy champagne shade and I'm popping that right on my inner corner. I thought that this was absolutely gorgeous and complemented this eye look very well, so I'm applying this pretty heavily. You don't have to go as heavy as I did, but I just decided to take it to the next level. So, of course, show your lower lashes some love, and then now it's time for contouring. This shade is the shade Havana, and it's from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Palette. And I'm basically using this shade to bronze the skin. So I'm going to apply this in the hollows of my cheeks, my temples, and then I'm going to go back into my contour palette and take the shade Espresso, which is a little bit darker, and I'm going to use this shade to really contour and chisel out my cheekbones. I'm also going to use a mixture of those two shades to contour my nose. Now, all of the shades that I have in my contour palette, I custom picked and created this palette off of the Anastasia website, so that's something that you should definitely consider if the shades that you see in the pre-made palettes don't necessarily fit your skin tone. You can go onto her site and custom pick and create your own contour palette, which I personally like better. So I'm just blending out my nose contour, and then next up is blush. Today I decided to use the MAC Sheer Tone blush in the shade Blush Baby, which I thought complemented this look very well. And then it's time for highlight, and by my face you guys should already know that this is the Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop highlighter, which I have been absolutely obsessed with. So I'm just applying this on the tops of my cheekbones as well as down the bridge of my nose, and then I'm going to move right on to my lips. So the first thing that I'm going to do is line my lips. I'm using the Milani lip liner in the shade Brandy, and then for my lip color I'm going to go in with Milani's matte lip cream in the shade Beloved. I do have a lip swatch video showing you guys all of these shades in action, so if you're interested I'll definitely link that video for you. But this is one of my favorite nude shades. I think it's absolutely stunning and complemented this look very well. So then of course you're going to want to douse your face in your favorite makeup setting spray to set everything in place, and then this look is complete. So that completes this makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and I hope to see you very soon in my next video. Bye.